Hey everybody, it is the Factsman talking about Major League Baseball. Doing this video to give a couple of tips, a couple of insights, and a couple of things that I do when Major League Baseball kicks off, tips off, first pitch, whatever you want to call it. The people at www.sportsforumpicks.com, it's where I call home for all you people watching this on YouTube. Basically want to say, no, I don't have a blueprint. I know everybody says, hey, when it comes to baseball, there's nobody better to talk to than you. Well, yeah, because I'm not a fucking idiot. I know the things not to do. And if you know the things not to do, it kind of helps you do the right things. Favorites. A lot of people like betting favorites. Oh my God, Sabathia. He's home against the Twins. The Twins suck. I'm not looking to lay 180. I'm looking to win 100. Nah, you're laying 180. And if you lose, you're going to need two more to get your money back. The thing with people I don't understand, and I follow this rule, maybe $1.30, $1.35, I'll stop there. Why? You have to put a cap on where you can go. There are days where I look at games that are minus $1.50 that I'd sell my mother and bet. Well, my mother's 85. That's not really a fair bet. But I guess my point is, sometimes you gotta have to bite the knuckles. Oh, why did I bet that fucking game? It was a good game. Because you fall into that trap 1, 2, 3, 4 times, you'll never get out of it. Bookmakers, offshore and in Vegas, want you to lay the number. Lay it. Lay whatever you want. Because a guy laying big money on a game, he's eventually going to he'll be broke by the All-Star game. It just happens. You don't lay, 9 to 5, 2 to 1, 220, 230. You just don't do it. But then what happens is handicappers or players, they say, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bet like 3 or 4 $2 favorites, parlay them up, and get like 2.5 or 3 to 1 for my money. What a great investment, right? I'm not laying 2 to 1 now or 250. I'm actually getting odds. Yeah, but you got to win 3 or 4 games. It's fucking silly. Okay, it's hard enough to win 1. You want to win 3. Again, you parlay big favorites, you will be busted. It's just the way it's been. It's the way it'll always be. The bookmaker, what he's afraid of the guy that's got a pair of balls and a $100 bill in his pocket and says, yeah, I'll take the Mariners. Yeah, take the Padres. Take Cleveland. 3 dogs, put $100 on it. Got a shot at picking up, $1,200 or G, whatever. If he wins, he wins. Now you got a guy who got $100 to his name. Couldn't win any more. That's his max. He can't win any. A book can't take any more than $100 from this individual. He gets lucky. Now he's fronting $1,200. He becomes fearless. Guy could take $100, turn it into 10 grand without blinking. No, I've seen it. I've seen it a lot of times. Now I'm not sitting there telling you to take 2 to 1 underdogs. It's not the way to go. But what I'm saying to you, in baseball, you have to put yourself in a position where you can't let one game or you can't let money knock you out of the box. The things that I look at, and like I said, I have no blueprint, but what I do have is I have enough experience doing this where what I'm trying to find mostly is a 50-50 proposition where I can get 6 or 6.5 to 5 for my money. If you toss a coin with me every day of the week and give me plus 30 on a 50-50 proposition, I'll pretty much own you at the end of the year. Okay, it's just the way it is because you can't overcome that. So guys have to be flexible when it comes to betting, especially baseball. And another thing, it's every day. People get caught up in the, Cubs in the afternoon, this is in the afternoon, the night game, the West Coast games. There's just too much action throughout the course of the summer. And again, volume will always destroy the player. The book loves volume. Okay, these are basically gambling 101 things that you all know by now. Like I said, what I'm trying to do when I bet baseball is I try to look at a lot of different situations, put them all together, and see what the best bet is. And there's a lot of times there's not even a team that will come out. I'll give you a quick example, and a lot of people know this from my history. We call it the facts box. I'm looking at 2 pitchers. I'm just going to throw out random names. Let's say I said Sabathia. Let's say Sabathia is pitching against Porcello, okay? And again, I'm just throwing two names out here. Just use this as an example. You know what? Tigers are going to get some runs off of Sabathia. They're going to hit him pretty good. I think the Yankees can hit Porcello. I have no idea who's going to win this game. But here's my options. I look and I say, wait a minute. First inning struggles. Both pitchers maybe struggle in the first inning. I'm going to bet yes, there'll be a run scored in the first inning. I'm going to bet over 3.5 runs for the first 5 innings of the baseball game. Got a DH, 5 full innings. Looks like a good bet. Maybe bet over 7.5 for the game. Maybe the team total over 4 Yankees, over 3.5 Tigers. I bet run hits and errors, 25.5. Take that over. I may bet the second half over. It really depends. My point is, if I'm right once, I just need to be right one time. I can go 6-0. Get a 5-3 final, 5-4 final, 6-3, 6-4 final, whatever the case is. I sweep the board. Ask yourself how many times you went 6-0 in baseball. You got to be right 6 different times. I've done this where I've been wrong and gone 4-2. Maybe I had one pitcher pitch well, another pitcher gets blown up. I'm going to hit the overs first half game. I'm going to hit the team total over on one, maybe lose the second. My run hits and errors will come through, and yes, there'll be a run scored in the first inning. So I don't even have to be 100% right. But when I am 100% right, that's a perfect storm that you want to fucking grab. Because again, I can go all over the board and make 6 different bets, 6 different games, when I could possibly turn my game off in the 3rd inning and I collected them all. So there are certain things you have to look at. You have to be flexible when you're betting baseball. You have to be patient. What I love about baseball more than anything is I like streaks, where most of the bettors lose money because they're streak buckers. What they say is, the Yankees lost 3 in a row. In no way they're losing 4 in a row. They're not losing 4 in a row. They don't do it. That won't happen. So they bet them. They lose. Can't lose 5 in a row. Why not? They just fucking lost 4. Bet them again. Fuck, the Yankees lost 5 in a row. There's no way the Yankees are losing 6 games in a row. The Twins suck. No, not happening. The Twins are not beating the Yankees at all. Why not? What you're doing is you're making all these bets to chase the first win, to chase the first loss. You can't get your money back after you lose. I bet a team, they start out 2-0, 3-0. I look at the scores, they're hitting well. I'll bet them. They win. Bet them again. They win. I'm going to bet them until they lose. You know why? I can only lose one bet. It could cost me 1. I could win 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could win 10. It doesn't really matter. But my exposure is only one game. I could only lose 1. When I start chasing the winning team, I could lose a ton, but only win 1. So that's some of the things that you guys need to know. Just don't ever say they're due. No such thing in baseball as they're due. And a lot of people do that a lot. They do say they're due. Don't do it. Okay. So back to baseball, back to some scenarios. Don't be afraid to play first 5 inning baseball games. Don't be afraid to play second half baseball. I know a lot of times what I'll do is, I used to do this a lot with good relievers. Got a game, let's stick with the Yankees. Not because I'm a Yankee fan, but I've done this in the past. Yankees are winning 3-1. Pitchers pitching really, really well. Second half line comes out, 3.5. Well, there's not going to be a bottom of the 9th. The Yankees are winning. Hey, Mariano Rivera will pitch the top of the 9th. No more, but my point is, let's scratch the 9th inning out. We've already eliminated 1 inning of the game. Who's coming up in the 6th inning for the team they're playing? Let's say the Twins. 6, 7, 8. Bottom of the order. That's good. Knock out the 6th inning. Take it away. Who's coming up in the 6th inning? The Yankees. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9. It's good. Let's take away that inning. So now we're betting the second half under in a baseball game where we've knocked out the 6th inning and the 9th inning, percentage-wise, where there shouldn't be runs scored. All I got to do is get through the 7th and 8th, and we're good. So I'm betting under 3.5, technically, for 2 innings. And if my pitcher is on a low pitch count, I could probably go right into the closer. If there are situations where the ball just hasn't been carrying, and you see a small score like that, same thing. So there's a lot of ways to make money other than just betting a side or a total. There's a lot of ways, and it's up to you guys to maximize that kind of advantage that you can have. I like first inning run scores. I mean, I had numbers. I think it was Brett Myers 2 years ago. 13 straight games he pitched in, or 14 straight games he pitched in where there was a run scored in the first inning. Odd part about it was it wasn't always him. I mean, he might have been responsible for half of them, but when he seemed to pitch, there's been a run in the first inning. Who am I to say it's not going to happen again? It's not luck. I mean, maybe it is luck. But guess what? If it keeps happening over and over again, why not keep cashing it? Remember, you can only lose one bet. If I say, wait a minute, there's always a run scored in the Myers first inning, I'm going to say no this time, after the seventh time. Why lose? Lose after the 8th, lose after the 9th, lose after the 10th. That's the difference with baseball. Success in baseball comes from a lot of different things. You can't sit on a lead in baseball. There's no time clock in baseball. So you can't, if you're up 8-1, okay, if you're up 8-1 in the game, your total is 9.5, and you have it over, a team that's winning 8-1 is not going to say, well, fuck it, I might as well strike out. I don't want to run up the score. Where in basketball, you can clear the bench. Where in football, you can take knees or run the ball. There's a lot of different scenarios where you can really take the foot off the gas pedal. In baseball, you can't do it. If you got an under in a baseball game, you can't tell a pitcher, I went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, struck out 9. I feel sorry for these motherfuckers. I'm not going to give up a couple of hits, a couple of runs. I mean, what the hell? Doesn't happen. Baseball is the only game where no one's going to not try. They're just not going to try. I hear people say, well, the bullpen. I always get fucked by the bullpen. I got a pitcher. Well, again, if you got a team, if you're betting Strasburg, who's a tremendous 5-inning pitcher, 6-inning pitcher, if the side makes sense, lay a half a run at a cheap number or play under if you like the matchup seems right, as opposed to going the whole game. I think Strasburg lost 3 games to the bullpen in like a 4-game stretch last year. So that's a scenario where you got to look into as well. Key thing, never lay a run and a half on a home team. And trust me, this is what you're going to see. Washington Nationals minus 220 with Strasburg against the shit Padres at home, minus 220. Minus 1.5 plus 105. The fuck is that telling you? We say, I won it by 2 runs. Yeah, but that an extra run is like an extra touchdown in football. I mean, a lot of games fall 1 run. You don't do it. You don't do it. On the flip side, I'm not telling you take 1.5 runs. I'm not saying either. I say take 1.5 runs if you have a team that might be able to compete. You have a pitcher that might be able to go them 5, 6, 7 innings with the pitcher and keep you in the game, then it might be worth it. Take a shot. You know what I mean? I got 1.5. The minus 1.5 on a road team is a lot better because you're going to get your full 9 at bats. You're only getting 8 at bats when you lay a 1.5 with a home team. Don't fucking do it. Don't. Never. Don't do it. Trust me, you'll get beat in the long run doing it. But yeah, people will say, I'd rather get even money or plus 105 instead of laying minus 200. Human nature. Always got to win by 2 runs. Trust me, it's going to hurt you. It's going to bury you. How do you beat it? How do you beat the game? You beat the game by being selective. You beat the game by finding prices. And you beat the game by finding matchups. So yeah, I look at umpires, okay? But here's what I don't do. And this is the stuff that I'm going to read in forums, I'm going to get via email or on Twitter, and it's going to piss me the fuck off. Did you know AJ Burnett is 10-2 versus so-and-so? Yeah, but AJ Burnett pitched for the Pirates last year. He's a right-hander, be pitching in Philly this year. In July, when fucking bunts go out of the ballpark to right field, it's a different AJ Burnett. It's a different team. So his record versus a certain team, I always get this. Well, he's 9-2 versus the Cubs. He could be 9-2 versus the Cubs, depending on who he played. But baseball players change every year. Positions change every year. You know, so I mean, players move. So when you look at it and say, you know, he's beaten this team, he might have beaten 3 or 4 guys in that lineup, but every year in baseball, there's 3 or 4 new guys in the lineup and 2 or 3 guys moving somewhere else. So you're never really going to get a grasp on what a pitcher does against a certain team if there's a lot of different people in that lineup. Look at the Phillies. They had a pitching staff that was, you know, second to none. Okay, and their lineup at one time was off the charts, but injuries, people not playing, certain things happen, trades. You can't go by that. ERA, whips, good. You have to look at that. They're all part of handicapping, but in the end, and I've talked to people about it all the time. They say, Joe, how'd you come up with, you know, Cleveland taking $1.40, you know, against the Angels? I love the matchup. I like the pitcher. I think Cleveland could hit the other kid. Cleveland's playing good ball. Angels aren't. I like my shot. I got a better than a 50-50 shot. I'm getting 7-5 for my money. I do that all day long. So it's to me, it's you know, I could glance at 2 pitchers, 2 teams, and get you a line and a total in less than 3 seconds. It's just years and years of doing it. Football, I have no idea. Basketball, you know, it's tough. What's the line in Kentucky, Syracuse? I don't know. Probably be 10 points off if I had to guess. No idea. It could be anything. But baseball, pretty much no. And the thing with baseball, you guys, you have to realize this. Home field, home field in baseball, it's probably the weakest of the football and the basketball and, you know, hockey, I guess. Hitters hit, and when they're hitting, you bet hitting teams, and you bet overs. When they're not, you bet against them, and you bet unders. People ask me, what do you like more, overs or unders? Well, I like unders. I like unders. Why? Because before that first pitch is thrown out, I have a winning ticket. I'm sitting on the line waiting to cash it. I got over 8.5 runs. The guy throws a pitch, it's still 0-0. They got to beat me. Let them score 9 runs and beat me. If they can score 9 runs and beat me, I'll walk off the line, go back to the dice table, and I'll rip up my ticket. But they have to beat me. They got to get them runs. Some way, they have to get them. Now, that doesn't mean I don't play overs. I do. I'll play overs when I have that perfect storm, that perfect matchup. But never will I sit there and say one team should score a lot of runs. People will do this. This team's going to score a lot of runs. The other team, I'm not laying 250, but I'll bet over. No, you never do that. If you think the team is not going to score a lot of runs, bet under. Don't lay the 250. Don't anticipate one team scoring 9 runs to get you the over itself. If you can't get cooperation from both teams, stay off the fucking game. Plain and simple. The videos from all over, everybody doing videos and YouTubes and things on how to beat the game and how do you do this and baseball prospectus and these fucking different things. Stats in baseball are made for people to bury themselves. There's just too much information that can be twisted in a certain way. Hey, you know, if a guy is, the guy's hitting 360 when the count's 2-0, but he's hitting 129 when it's 0-2. Well, no fucking shit. It's been going on for the last 100 years in baseball. This ain't a news flash. So what you want to do is you get a little creative. Try to find a pitcher that throws first pitch strikes. Look at the umpires. See who call a lot of first pitch strikes. I know which ones do it. And I want to see a free swinging team. It's a team that is going to strike out a lot. I got a team that's going to strike out a lot. I got a strikeout pitcher. I got a pitcher that's going to come in be ahead of the count a lot. Get some strikeouts. That might be the team I bet, depending on the number. Maybe bet the under, depending on the total. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. So if I can't sit there and tell you guys, this is how you make money. You got to do it this way and this way. There's just so many factors that come into play when you're betting baseball. And that's why I get the big bucks. I do it. Busiest time of year for me is baseball. People always ask me, in your business, you got to make a ton of money handicapping football. No. I mean, I probably could. But I'm the first one to say, hey, I'm not great in football. I suck in the NFL. I don't even bet NBA basketball. Do you know, could you imagine it's NBA basketball season? People want to pay for picks. People want to get on this program. Who do you like in the NBA? Don't play NBA. Why? Because I'm not fucking stupid. You got that set of rules in the NBA. You can't beat them. You can't beat the NBA. I'm not gonna bet it. It's not. It's not. It's not worth it. Playoff time, I'll bet series, but that's it. So yeah, baseball to me is real important. A lot of people documented they know what I do in exhibition baseball. Spent most of my life in Florida. Been through the Grapefruit League. Been to every ballpark you could possibly imagine. Know a lot of people out there. I generally, when I do a post on a comp game, I'll write down the lineup. I'll write down who's going to be the first pitcher, second pitcher, third pitcher. And generally, people don't even, when it wins, they'll say, the fuck did you know that guy was going to pitch? Who is he? Never heard of this guy. He's wearing number 92 on his jersey. Well, we do well with it. It's not exciting. I'm pretty sure a lot of you'd rather be doing other things than betting exhibition baseball, but people want to win. And that's how you win. So yeah, I'm a pretty bad marketer when it comes to marketing the so-called tout or sports information service, because the way you make the real money selling picks is telling everybody you're the best in the NFL, because everybody loves the NFL. Telling everybody you have the winner in the BCS championship game. I didn't play the BCS championship game. Super Bowl, busiest day for every handicapper. Ask anybody, one of my clients who I give out in the Super Bowl. Neither team. Could care less. Super Bowl to me is just a baseball game in July. It means nothing to me. Kentucky Derby is the same as the fourth race at Aqueduct. It means absolutely the same. Pays the same amount of money. The thing is, a lot of people get caught up in hype. Everybody says to me, oh, I can't wait to March Madness. You know, it's great, 20 games on at once. That means you're betting 20 fucking games in a day, you sick bastards. You're not going to win. Find a baseball game that matches up right. Whether it's an over and under, small dog, small favorite. If it makes sense, the numbers line up, you bet it. Maybe you bet 2. On days you might find 3. But don't be afraid to go back to 1 the following day. If you're going to sit there and play volume daily, 3, 4, 5 games a day, I don't care how good of a handicap you are, fucking bad luck will beat you. Bad luck will beat you. You start averaging 4 games a day, 28 games a week, okay? You could be the best in the world. The law of average says a guy's going to drop a fly ball, ball's going to hit a guy in the fucking nose and wind up somewhere else. It's too many games. You got to walk before you crawl. Be smart. Manage your money the right way. Not in units, that fucking shit. I'm going to get stuck with that. Yeah, this is worth 3 units. This is worth 2.5 units. This is worth 6 units. My established bankroll for baseball is this. You don't have an established bankroll, you fucking assholes. Shit, I don't have one, and I'm rich. I don't have an established bankroll. Yeah, here's my established bankroll. I put this aside for baseball, and then I'm going to bet 2% or 3%. It's nonsense. Nobody bets 2. A guy's got fucking $10,000. He's betting 1.5% of his bankroll. Was he betting $150 a game? Fuck, play fantasy baseball instead. Nobody's doing that. People bet to what they can afford, and they get a little bit more aggressive as streaks get aggressive. But we all want to have that terminology. They just steamed this game to 150. The wise guys are on this. You know how I feel about that shit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. All that stuff is to make your dick hard and get you excited about nothing. Okay? Be disciplined with baseball. Follow streaks. Do not lay a run and a half on with home teams. Do not chase bad hitting teams and expect them that they're due. Do not take a losing team and say they're due to win. Be smart. Look for pitchers who do well or struggle versus 2, 3, 4 in the lineup, 4, 5, 6 in the lineup. If you can control that part of the lineup, you're going to be successful. And those are keys. Those are important factors, you know, when I'm handicapping games. But it's not one thing. It's a lot of things you got to put together. So what I try to do is I try to find check marks. And if I have 10 criteria that I'm looking at in a game, and 6 of them are on one side, 2 of them on another, and 2 of them are undecided, I got to play. And I'm going to do it. If it's, 5-4, and maybe 1, no, it ain't worth it. I'm tossing a coin. I'll toss a coin if the line's in my favor. Like I told you, give me 7-5 on a coin toss, I'm all over it. But that's pretty much it, guys. I have I'll be happy to answer any question you have in the forum. This will be at www.sportsforumpicks.com. But a lot of the questions that you guys are going to want, it's really tough for me to answer because every day is a different day for me. Like I say, I always wake up 0-0. Past is history, the future is a mystery. Best thing to do with baseball, limit the plays, find the value, and don't get caught up in the nonsense and follow streaks, and you'll be fine. I'll get into some other things as weather changes. Find a lot more runs in warmer weather. Some ballparks where you'll see drastic changes once we hit July and August. So there's a lot of different things that we'll be doing in baseball. And again, what I'm doing in baseball, I think is available in the forum. I think at 50 or 100 games at a time. You guys, joe@factsman.com. Shoot me an email. Don't jerk me off, though. Don't ask me a fucking 1,000 questions about what I did last week, last month, or last year, the last 10 years in baseball. Because if you never spoke to me, you never did any good or never did any bad. You're 0-0. Okay? That's not, I could care less. I'm not going to play fucking email tag. Okay? Email tag is for pedophiles. I don't want to get involved in that shit. If you're struggling, you need help, and it's something that you want to join, get a program you want to be a part of, I'll be glad to help you. Providing you're not a sick, degenerate bastard, I'm going to bust my balls. If that's the case, go to pregame.com or go somewhere. Just leave me the fuck alone. Other than that, it's the Factsman. A little baseball talk right before season. Pitchers and catchers reported yesterday. So, yeah, I'm getting a little excited. So, other than that, everybody, best of luck baseball season. In the meantime, you still got now to March Madness to have some fun. And we'll be kicking off our preseason exhibition baseball season in the next probably 2 weeks. Other than that, that's it. Great day. Good luck to all you guys, and hope to see you guys around the forum.